I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news. Live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the electrifying content with the people. Salute the Bucks Nation. Salute the friends and family. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Y'all saw the community post. Y'all know what we're here to talk about. And I know that this is a hot topic. I know there's a lot of emotions involved when discussing this topic. Let's just make sure we remain level-headed in the chat section. Let's keep it respectful and respect everybody's point of view, and let's just have a debate. Let's just have a debate about what's going on, what's going wrong with the Milwaukee Bucks right now. And I don't think we can point to one single person or situation that's the problem with the Bucks. I think it's a culmination of a lot of different situations. One sec. So hey, we gotta talk about it, y'all. We gotta talk about it. So before we get started, salute the Bucks Nation again. Salute the friends and family. This is your number one source for Bucks news. This is the number one Bucks podcast on YouTube and the best chat in the entire world right here, y'all. Salute. Before we get into it, let's see who's in the building, and make sure as y'all come in here to make sure y'all hit the like button. Much appreciated. Helps up other people find the the outstanding information and content here at Amara's Logic. So salute. Let's see who's in the building. Shout out to my man Brandon King Carter in the building. One of the most controversial, if not the most controversial figure in the chat. I love cooking the internet bum. Salute to you, bro. You're wild. Salute to you. Sergio7110, what's good, bro? Appreciate you popping in. The living legend, Mr. Cool, has entered the chat. Salute. Jeff Riley, straight out of the OC. What's good, sir? Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you. My homie Dre West. What's good, Dre West? What's good? Jeff Riley, bro. I hope the knee is getting better, bro. Veggie Gross, what's good? My homie Gibson Nicholas, straight out of the Bahamas. What's good, bro? Appreciate you tapping in. Make sure I get through here before we get into it. Sadowski, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Joseph Macbeth, what's good? The homie Oliver Story, salute. Cynthia Harris, OG of the chat, one of the queens of the chat, one of the figureheads of the community section here. What up, Cynthia? Salute. The homie Jimmy Roller is in the building. Appreciate you popping in, Jimmy Roller. You know you my guy, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. Daniel Bleacher Report Orton is in the building. What's good, bro? The homie Robert Brooks. My man Hugh Milladon is tapped in straight out of Puerto Rico. What's good, bro? Saul Cali is in the building. My main man. What up, Saul Cali? BM, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. So y'all saw the thumbnail. Like I said, everything going on in the community tab. There's a lot of fingers being pointed at Giannis right now. Some is warranted, some isn't warranted. I think a lot of the problems with there's a definitely quite a few problems with the Bucks, but I don't think that it can solely be blamed on Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's insanity. That's insanity. But that is the current media narrative. That's why we're here to talk about it. Because if anybody's gonna talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, it should be us right here. So that's the media narrative now. Are the Bucks struggling because of how Giannis plays, and Giannis needs to adjust his game? So that's what we're here to talk about, friends and family. I'm very intrigued to see how y'all feel about this. Uh, we've been kind of hinting at this for a while. Different people have brought this up, from B Shacks to Bleach Report Boss. Many people have brought this topic up, but there's a lot of variables involved when you speak about taking the ball out of Giannis's hands and giving the reins to Dame. Do you have to take things in consideration? I mean, we can look, if y'all let me know in the comment section. If y'all haven't already, we can also play the clip from the 520 podcast with Jeff Teague about his opinion as well of what the Bucks should do and how things should change and how it should go through Dame. That is viable, and I understand why they would say that. But these are two things that I want you to keep in consideration. I was talking to my brother today. I call him Al Heyman. He like the dude behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Floyd Mayweather, he Al Heyman. If y'all don't know who Al Heyman is, he's a boxing promoter that's like legendary, and he move a certain way. And my brother's the same way. So we were talking today before the pod or whatnot, about the Bucks issues, just our general conversation, and we both brought up valid points that I want to bring up to Bucks Nation. Now, when we're talking about playing a game of basketball, we talk about pace and tempo and fast breaks and things like that matter. Fast break tempo is what Giannis excels at, right? So when there's an opportunity to push the pace or to get a fast break, the only people that can really do that is Giannis and Dame to an extent. But it's really only Giannis that can run the floor and actually push the pace. And if you noticed in the game against the Celtics, one of the advantages we had, my brother had to point this out, is when Giannis was pushing the pace. As much as I love Dame and I've been a Dame supporter, he's not a person that plays with pace. We have to take that in consideration as well, Bucks Nation. Dame is a great player, top 75 all time, but he's not a person that plays fast. He's a person that plays at a slower pace, similar to a Chris Paul. And when you play like that, you don't really have the same. You can't play with the pace that Giannis needs to play at. I've been telling you for years, Giannis is like a Ferrari. He needs to run. He definitely needs to run, and we don't have the right horses with him to run with him. So sometimes he has to take it upon himself to be a one man fast break, and sometimes it goes too far. He runs into 3-4 people and he goes a little OC, and that's a little bit of not quite the high basketball IQ you'd want to see. But there's a time and place for Dame to have the ball, and there's a time and place for Giannis. When we're looking for tempo and pace, the ball should be in Giannis's hand. Giannis should be trying to initiate to put the defense on their heels and not allow them to set up. Now, if the defense is already established, then I feel Dame should be initiating the offense because he's better in the half court and he's going to get more ball movement with the team. So these are things that just take in consideration. I don't think that it's fair to say to just completely take the ball out of Giannis's hand. I don't think that that's fair, but I think it's situational, and the team has to be aware and show high basketball IQ and when that's needed. If we have a chance to run, then the ball should not be in Dame's hands because Dame doesn't play with pace. It should be in Giannis's hands. Period. Because those are those quick, fast break opportunities like we were getting against the Celtics, where Giannis was playing with pace and getting right to the hoop before they could establish the wall or any type of defensive sets. So in that regards, you can't allow Dame to do that. That has to be a Giannis thing. So I just want us to be realistic and just take a step back before we comment on this and really look at things in its totality and being situational as well. But like I said, I want to emphasize that if we're in the half court, Dame should be initiating the offense because he's going to get more people involved. Usually, respectfully, when Giannis is involved in the half court, he's running in the lane full speed, and then a late kick out or a jumping random kick out to players that aren't ready or haven't touched the ball or didn't think they were going to get the ball because you were holding the ball so long. And like I said, half court, I think most of the Bucks Nation would agree that it should be the offense should be run through Dame within the half court. Also, things that we need to understand that this team has flaws. This team definitely has flaws we need to take in consideration as well. We still haven't addressed the ball handlers on this team. The only person besides Giannis and Dame and the often injured Middleton that can really dribble the ball, and I'm just keeping it 100. Y'all tell me what y'all think, is AJ Johnson. We still don't have ball handlers. That's a problem. Do y'all notice when we get pressed and they keep the ball away from Dame? If Giannis isn't available, we can't bring the ball past half court because we don't have ball handlers. That's a flaw in the roster. That's a flaw in the roster, and that causes issues. We don't have a lot of creators, especially without Middleton playing. That even dwindles it further. And the other thing that we got to take in consideration, friends and family as well, is that when Middleton's out, that changes the whole dynamic of the team and how things work. when Middleton is playing, he can play with pace and he can play with speed and he can run with Giannis if Dame isn't. And he's another ball handler. He can help when we're getting pressed and things like that. I don't understand if people really get the gravity of Khris Middleton not being available, how it negatively affects this team just because of the way this roster is constructed. Y'all think I'm trying to be funny or whatnot? I blame a lot on Khris Middleton's not being available for this team the last couple years until why we're failing. Because the way this team is built, he's a very intricate piece to making this work. Is Khris Middleton? I'm just keeping it real. I'm not trying to dump on Khris Middleton. I'm just trying to keep it 100% real with friends and family here. Khris Middleton is a huge part of the problem. When you add Khris Middleton, you insert him into this team. It's another ball handler, another shooter, another creator, a high basketball IQ player. It allows the engine to run smoother. You feel what I'm saying? Because if we're looking at it and we keeping it real, as much as we talking about Giannis turnovers and maybe Dame's defense, them cats are dropping 30 apiece this season, and we're not winning basketball games. That should be alarming, Bucks Nation. That should be alarming. They're averaging 30 apiece, and we're not winning basketball games. That's very, very odd. That means we still don't have enough help. And if I'm okay, you know what? This pod is just gonna be keeping it real today. Y'all just bear with me. I'm gonna open up the lines in a minute. I just need to politic with the people for a minute here. And if we're really keeping it real and we're looking at this team last year and how they're playing and this year how they're playing, you can hang your hat on a couple of small improvements in defensive sets and offensive sets, but for the most part, if we just gonna keep it a dollar, this team looked the same. I'm not gonna just blame Doc Rivers. I'm not gonna just blame the players, but I'm gonna lean more towards the players because this team looks the same under this elite coaching staff. Besides a couple small improvements than they did under the Adrian Griffin regime, we're still playing out of position defensively. People are still caught stargazing instead of watching their man, and we're not hitting 3-point shots. We're not hitting 3-point shots. When Giannis and Dame are kicking them out, the only person that's been really hitting threes somewhat consistently has been Taurean Prince and a little bit of Gary Trent Jr. Otherwise, the others have not been stepping up. But let's just keep it real. The others have not been stepping up. DeLon Wright to this point has been a disappointment. He's really done nothing of any significance. All the momentum that Pat Connaughton had coming into this season is completely gone. He's back to trash. Bobby P is having his ups and downs, and he has one of the lowest plus minuses on the team, even with his offensive production, because he's so bad defensively. This team has issues that need to be addressed that are deeper than just Giannis Antetokounmpo and his issues. Yes, Giannis has issues. Giannis can't shoot free throws. The mid-range is suspect, and his moves are being figured out now. People are anticipating what he's going to do. Is it going to be the Euro step or the spin? Because his game hasn't evolved. It's been the same since he became a dominant player, and that's also a problem. People are getting in position. Okay, he's coming now. We know the spin is coming, so I'm going to stand here. I'm gonna put my hand here. I know he come with the Euro step. Let me just stand here. I'll get the charge. So that's part of the problem on the Giannis front, is that the game hasn't evolved and they're figuring you out. And you've gotten so accustomed to having the ball in your hand that he's not able to play off the ball effectively at this point. And that's a problem. And that's part of the adjustment and the maturation that we need to see in Giannis's game. And I'm not saying he needs to play off the ball all the time before y'all go crazy. But in the half court, in situations when this is when a team needs to use IQ, Giannis has to play off the ball so Dame can initiate the offense and try to get the others going. You have to get the others going in the NBA to win. Once the others are going, it makes everything easier. When we lost to Boston, what was happening to us? The others were killing us. It wasn't Jaylen Brown killing us like that. It wasn't Tatum killing us like that. It wasn't Jrue Holiday killing us like that. It was Peyton Pritchard. Then once he got going, then eventually the others picked up and the stars picked up and they got going. The Bucks need to have that same mentality. But the problem is our rotations are all screwed up because this dude Middleton is never available, but he's always smiling. Why are you so happy, Middleton, that you're not helping this team? So there's multiple issues that need to be addressed. Also, Brook Lopez is shooting absolutely atrocious from the 3-point line and not rebounding. That's a problem. I have a sinking sensation, and I'm not wishing this, that we're gonna make a move. And it might, and y'all let me know what y'all think. We might need to move Bobby, Pat, and consider Brook for some athleticism and speed. We have to pick up the pace. We just have to pick up the pace. And I'm tired of seeing Bobby trying to run the break with his John Havlicek dribbling package. I We might need to make a move, y'all. And I'm not saying this in haste or just because we're 1-3. I'm really looking at the landscape of the league and how things have changed and how teams have gotten younger and the game is just speeding up. And another example of another team struggling that's similar to setup as us is the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets were just the talk of the town a couple years ago, just like we were, and now they're struggling for some of the same reasons that we're struggling is the same reasons that Denver is struggling. Enough of the others are not stepping up. They don't have that third score. We got to keep it real. Once we spin the block and we talk about everything, a lot of the blame is going to come back to, yes, the players and not having certain people on the team, but a lot of this would be, a lot of our issues would be fixed with the availability, or at least be covered up in disguise with the availability of Khris Middleton. Now, I see a lot of people talking about Jrue Holiday and what Jrue Holiday is doing with the Celtics and all that. We should have kept him. I'm tired of people just talking with narratives, is not talking with sense. You're at Amara's logic for logic, right? For logical perspective on the Bucks. Now, looking at things logically, I'm looking at the Boston Celtics like, oh, okay, Jrue is over there as a fourth option. Fourth option. Fourth option. He's not, you're not depending on his offensive output. You're depending on his intangibles: good defense, high basketball IQ, and score when you need it. But it's not mandatory. When Jrue Holiday was on the Bucks, friends and family, he was expected to be a second option scorer plus the number one defender. He was not capable on the offensive side and had a lot of duds in the playoffs, plus offensively, plus was getting cooked defensively. So the Bucks made a decision to choose offense because we need to score points. Jrue Holiday will never score 30 points a game. He's never averaged over 20 points a game. There's a difference. We traded him because it looked like he was slipping defensively and he wasn't giving us enough offensively at the option and tier that we needed him to score at. So we sacrificed a little defense to bring in offense. And Dame has definitely had the offense. So some of the defense has stepped back because of all the defensive responsibilities that Jrue Holiday had, as far as cleaning up the mess and knowing how to go around screens. He just did a lot of the intangibles and the dirty work that made Giannis and all the others a lot better. And now we don't really have anyone on the team that does that dirty work. That's part of the problem. And the players like I consider like a Jrue Holiday will be like a Marcus Smart, somebody who does all the dirty work to let the stars be stars. We don't have that on our team. The person that was used to be like that was Pat Connaughton, and that time is well past. Pat Connaughton is not even an NBA quality player, in my opinion. And then DeLon Wright looks like a waste. He looks like he's not giving us too much. We're really dependent on Bobby, and we're playing Bobby a lot of minutes again because our rotation is off because Middleton's gone. So yes, Giannis has things to improve, but this team in general has things that they need to improve and focus on, like not turning the ball over, boxing out, rebounding, crashing the boards, smart decision making, attention to detail, knowing how to throw a proper screen, how to use it effectively to pick and roll. So we got problems when and there. Yes, Giannis is part of it, but he's not the main reason. There's a lot of other factors involved besides Giannis. And I think a lot of this has to do with the players, and the players need to look in the mirror like, am I doing everything I can to help this team win? Period. That's what it's about. Are these players good enough to help this team win? If not, what do we do? And if Middleton is not going to be available, I will say this again. We need to consider moving on from Middleton. This team needs a third scorer that's going to be available. If he can't be available, I don't care. Let's trade him for Brandon Ingram or whoever we can get that can score, but at least is available. I know Brandon Ingram's injury prone. I know that, but at least he's younger. At least he's younger. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying get rid of him right away. I'm just throwing these things out there for Bucks Nation to think about. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna open the lines up here. Let me get into the comment section briefly. I just had to try to go on a logical rant there. I hope y'all feel me, and I hope that made sense to friends and family. Let me just get through a couple comments, and I'm gonna open up the lines here. And I know y'all got a lot to say. My boy Brandon King Carter said, "Take it one game at a time and one step at a time." My dude. I love cooking the internet fun. Internet bum said the fact that this is even a topic should tell you a lot. It pisses me off that Giannis signed a new contract with the Bucks. That's what pisses me off the most, not some of you haters. I wish you could elaborate on haters. That's the other thing. I'm glad you said that. That's the problem with today's society. I was raised in a different era where there's a little bit more mental toughness in my era that I was raised in. And it seems now if you give anybody any constructive criticism, they're quick to hit the easy button, which is what I call, oh, you're a hater. You're a hater. So if I look outside and I see it's raining, it's visibly raining. It's raining. Rain is coming down. And I look at you. I tell you it's raining. Oh, you're a hater. Hey, you're a hater. It's just only raining for a couple minutes. That's not even gonna last. You're just a hater. Like what? I'm just telling you what's actually happening, and I'm observing. But because you don't agree with what I'm saying, even though it's the truth, I'm a hater. We got to get past that. People can criticize situations. They can criticize people. You have to take that. Too soft this generation and era. Way too soft. You can't say anything. Anything. Oh, you're a hater. Oh, how am I hating on telling the truth? How is the truth hate? It's neither hate nor love. That is just the truth. That's why it has its own word. The truth. You can't be mad or sad about it. You just accept the truth. Y'all act like Giannis can't do no wrong or Dame can't do no. They both do things wrong, and they need to work on them. Like playing with each other. Ridiculous. Sergio 7110 said, except for the playoff because he's out there for too many minutes a game in a regular season. Right. That's what I've been telling them, bro. That's why I be blaming a lot on Middleton, bro. Because Giannis is the type of dude, and his mentality is like, yo, y'all ain't out here. I'm gonna do it myself. Cause I'm like that. Y'all can't do. I'm just gonna do it myself, and that take a lot out of you, especially in the regular season. Then you expecting to still have that energy in the playoff isn't fair, especially when one of your stars and your quote unquote friend is only playing 30, 40 games a year. I'm telling y'all that's wearing on Giannis. I don't know why y'all don't believe that. That's crazy. Sergio 7110 said I blame a lot of this on Doc though. I don't know if I can do that no more, bro. I'm not gonna blame Doc. And the reason I'm not gonna blame Doc because of how we were looking bad defensively recently is the same we was looking last year. We got to start holding the players accountable. We got to start holding the players accountable, bro. Not just the coaches ain't out there tricking threes like we're going 8 for 38 from threes. That the coaching staff isn't doing that. That's players not hitting shots, and that's part of the problem too. Is our 3-point shooting is really off. I agree, Mr. Cool said Jeff Riley. I hope you doing good. Yeah, same. Hey Jeff, I hope that recovery on the leg is going well, sir. Shout out to the homie. Mr. Cool said, I meant no harm. I apologize. You are a passionate Giannis fan. That's clear. But remember, all of us love Giannis too. We just want him and all the Bucks to be the best they can be. Facts. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. We want this team to win and be successful. We're not hating on players. We're asking each player to elevate their game and to fix the flaws so this team could win a championship. If we didn't think this team could win a championship, was just out there, some young team going through the, building, we wouldn't be on them like this. We're on them like this because this is a team with championship aspirations. And we're not winning. Things need to be called out when you're not winning. Period. If we're winning, we're not having this conversation, but we're not, so we talking. I mean, that's just it. Dre West said, "This is an interesting take right here. I'll definitely be in on this. Facts. Appreciate you, Dre West, my dude." Veggie Grove said, "Draymond and Baron Davis was just talking about this." I bet. I bet they were. I bet they were. Shout out to them. It's just a lot, y'all. It's just it's deeper than just Giannis. Y'all just want that to be understood. It's deeper than just Giannis. My homie Gibson Nicholas says, "Salute to the chat. Salute Gibson. Appreciate you tapping in, bro. I'm gonna open up these lines in a minute. Let me just get through a couple more comments. There's a couple people going back and forth, so bear with me as I scroll. Sadovsky, what's good? Answer: incompetent front office first and foremost. Yeah, we haven't got the right players in. That's a fact, Sadovsky. That's why I'm saying it's deeper than Giannis. The organizational issues, player issues, just things aren't mixing. They aren't mixing. We can turn it around though. Shout out to Cynthia Harris. Yep, it is. He needs to play in the paint, off and high, low picks and rolls. He does not know how to play two-man ball, but that is also a coaching problem. There's multiple issues. Shout out to Cynthia. What do I tell y'all about how smart the chat is? Look at this comment. I'm going to put that back out there. I'm going to let that sit. Shout out to Cynthia. Keep telling y'all we the best. I don't know what the confusion is. My boy Jimmy Rose said, "What up, Amara and chat? What up, bro? Appreciate you tapping in. I know this is a hot topic. Let's just open the phone lines. The homie Robert Brooks, let me get your comment before I open the line. I personally think Giannis is holding the team back. We've had a bad collection of guys around Giannis. Facts. We need more taller athletes, ball handlers, and shot. What I tell you? Look at the comments. Look at the comments. These are tier 1 comments. You get better comments here and commentary than you do on ESPN, Fox Sports, or any of that other narrative-driven foolishness. This is where you get that pure, unfiltered, uncut information and content. Salute. Shout out to you, Robert Brooks. My boy Hugh Milledon. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Puerto Rico. We global if y'all didn't know. My boy Ryan Love said, "Bucks Nation, what's good? What's good, bro?" The homie Saul Cali said, "Giannis is not holding the Bucks back. The system that's in place is holding the Milwaukee Bucks back." I do think that is also valid, and that's why I said, as far as with the pace, we don't have a lot of players that can play with pace, and we also don't have a lot of people that can actually handle the ball. BM said, "Giannis is holding the Bucks back. Let's trade him. Let's where the Bucks end up next year." We're not saying that now. We're not gonna go hard like that. The homie Matt in the building said, "Yo, yo, yo, what up, bro?" The homie Luke in the house. Trade Pat in the 2031 first round pick for Cody Martin in 2025 second round pick, and trade Bobby for Jeremy Grant in a 2025 second. Throw in Marjan, and then our team is amazing. Interesting take, Luke. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you, bro. My homie Conrad, I ain't seen you in a minute. What's good, famo? Someone stated the Doc is destroying the team to make Giannis mad so he can leave. That doesn't even make sense. That's what I be saying. People just get on the internet saying anything. That's crazy. Who is Doc to even like? Come on, y'all. Shout out to Patricia P. She said, "Hey, Bucks Nation, what's good? What's good?" Make sure I don't miss none of the homies. Saul Cali, appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Giannis is not holding Milwaukee Bucks back. I think the system that's in place is holding the Bucks back. There's a lot of validity to that, my dude. Shout out to Saul Cali with the $4.99 super chat. Salute. The homie Pasamindo in the house. Shout out to Jersey. Says salute. All right, y'all. The link in the chat. What up? What up? What up? What up, Mr. Smith? Let me open up the chat here. Let me get this last super chat, then I'm gonna open up the lines, y'all. Let me just get this super. What up, Stacy? Shout out to Stacy. You was dropping all types of knowledge in the community tab today. Y'all don't know Stacy was cooking in the community tab today. What up, Stacy? You was doing work today. I see you. I see you. Shout out to Janet MOC. I see you. Sergio with the $5 super chat. Hey, he said, appreciate the $5 super chat. Hey, Amber, are you sponsored by Colgate? Oh no, bro. But I should be. I should be, fam. Nah, dude, just so you know the routine, bro. I use charcoal toothpaste every night. Then I use the Sensodyne enamel. Then after that, Optic White by Colgate. That's the cherry on top at the end. So 6 minutes of brushing, bro. You know, eating, drinking. You want to keep the smile tight, bro. You want to keep the smile tight. That's a selling point. Trust me. I done probably got a few jobs behind that. Timothy Modi was good. Not the players, but the coach. Which basketball games are you watching, Amara? The coach is not missing threes, bro. The coach is not telling people to turn the ball over 18 times either. You can't just blame it. That's what I'm saying. There's not one party responsible. It's a culmination of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that now, bro. Just blame the coach. That's a cop out and way too easy. Link is in the chat. What up, Nicholas? Shout out to you. The homie, the truth is in the building, my dude. OG of the chat that entered the room. What up, the truth? Cream City 1846. What's good, bro? The homie Pass has entered the building. Shout out to Jers. Let me go ahead and tap my man in. Hold on one second. Let me tap Bleacher Report boss in, and then we'll get this going. Hold on one second, y'all. There we go. Appreciate y'all tapping in, bro. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Oh, damn, you big?
They got big. That got big, bro.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Remember last
That's a little wild. That's a little wild. Hold on, we add Mr. Smith too.
This guy got big.
Okay. Now we got the panel together, y'all. At the top right, we got Pass from Jersey. You better know who that is. If not, I might ban you. And then at the bottom left, we got the homie Bleacher Report boss. You already know him, the VP. And one of the most engaging and electrifying members of the chat, Mr. Smith, at the bottom right. What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's happening?
Hey. I know it's a little clickbaitish, but a lot of narratives are being driven in this direction and putting a lot of fault on Giannis, which I think is unwarranted. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve something, but the way they're just the narrative is just being pushed. Giannis is the problem. Get the ball out of his hand. He need to do this and that. It's not just that simple. We have personnel issues. We have health issues. We have identity issues. And all of that in the pot, I think, is what's causing us to be 1-3 right now. And until we change these ingredients or add some more seasoning to make what we got taste good, we're going to have some ups and downs. We're going to start with Pass, and then we're going to go around. I'll start with you, Pass.
So my thing with this is what it looks like to me is like they're kind of stuck in the past. It's very old style, and they're not really adjusting to how everyone else is playing. They're not shooting as many threes as everyone else. They're over helping on threes, which is also affecting our defense. Right. Stuff like this needs to change. That is system related. Now, there is also the other part where the players sooner or later have to take this accountable. Because if it's the same 3 players each time with 3 different coaches, then it might be you. We've had 3 different systems. Bud's system worked for a certain point, and then after that, it did not. Once it hit 2023, we saw signs even during the regular season. They're like, this looks a little bit off.
Right.
And then playoffs came, and it looked terrible. Then we go to Griffin's thing. Griffin actually had a really good offense. That's the one thing I'd give him.
Go ahead, Pass.
Y'all
go back and forth, but go ahead, Pass. Go ahead.
Griffin's offense was better than what it is now, but his defense was the defense there that was system that we had was terrible.
Right. Agreed.
And now we have the opposite system where Doc's thing is pretty much everything doesn't really look great, but I saw things different last year than it is now, if that makes sense. Because I've seen them play with heart before, especially in the playoff last year when we had less players. We didn't have Giannis. We didn't have Dame. And I've seen them play well. So I know they have something there. question is, can they actually do it for a whole year?
And that's and a lot of that is based on player availability, like I'm saying. Like I'm not trying to just blame like how people trying to blame things on Giannis. I'm not trying to just blame things on Khris Middleton, but Khris Middleton not being on this team is affecting us dearly as far as rotations, ball handler, a high basketball IQ player on the floor, and he can play with pace. Like I've been saying, Dame can't really play with pace. He's not a person that's gonna run up and down, but Middleton can do that at times. And also when we're in the or when teams are doing full court press, we get discombobulated because we don't have any ball handlers, and they'll just double Dame right out the gate. Now, who can dribble? Besides Giannis, who can really dribble? DeLon Wright got a basic dribbling package. He maybe got a 1975 dribbling package, give or take in that era, but he's nothing special. Dame is the only person that put the ball around his back effectively and efficiently, if we're really keeping it real. And that's part of the problems with this team too. So there's a lot of blame to go around. I just don't think it should all go on Giannis. There's a lot of issues that need to be addressed on this team. Speed, athleticism are still a problem for this team, and IQ and awareness, especially defensive awareness, is looking terrible. Go ahead, pass. My bad.
So the other thing I wanted to ask about is with the ball handling thing, actually, especially because we have three ball handlers. We have Dame, Giannis, Khris. I've seen Pat bring up the ball multiple times because Doc seems he trusts him more than DeLon to bring it up. And what I've seen
Right.
from DeLon, he hasn't really done much to warrant that. And I honestly, this whole year and last year, he's been trying this point Pat.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that, and I don't agree with
I've
that
seen it
either.
a lot, and I don't know if it's gonna work because at certain point, things like this, if he was a young player, I could see it working because like, okay, you can get that into your game. At this point, it's kind of hard to do. You're just not as fast as you used to be. You're not as athletic as you used to be. Sooner or later, I don't know if that'll work. Now, if DeLon doesn't work out, because it's still early on, we can't really say everything fully. Like all these new players, it's a new system for them too. Once we, Markelle Fultz is still available, and he does pretty much the same thing. He's also
All
younger. Yes, he can't shoot.
right.
That's the one downside. But he's not a terrible dribbler. He can get in. He's actually young, so it helps us out there.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You could get him for cheap because Lonnie Walker, you're not getting now. He just signed a deal in I think EuroLeague or something like that. So you can't get him.
Okay. Well, we just got to see. Maybe some of this stuff could be fixed, and we'll look a lot different with Middleton in the lineup whenever he comes back. Maybe before the first of the year. I don't know. Whenever he comes back, and that this team that wasn't necessary. My bad, Khris. My bad, Khris. That was dirty.
I mean, Khris does need to come back. That's the thing because we don't know when he'll be back. It's a problem.
That is.
His time frame gets moved back and back and back as we keep going along the season. We have every single time this keeps happening. It started happening with Giannis too. If Doc just said, I understand why Doc said it because we're during playoffs. You want to keep the other coach like on their toes, like, oh, Giannis might come back. Giannis might come back. That makes sense. The Khris thing does not make sense to me. We're early in the season. Just tell us the truth that hey, you don't know
it was
yet.
the off season.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Double ankle surgery.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We also don't know when he got the surgery either. We don't know if it's the beginning of the offseason or it's at the tail end. We have no clue.
I think it might have been July.
So
in July,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure in July.
So like middle then. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was like
he should have got that done. Yeah, he should have gotten that done earlier. Then we would have had maybe a different system right now.
But that's the problem. That's why people are tight now too, because they're like, you had the ankle issues. Why did you wait so long to decide on the surgery? And then he told me I had to get second and third opinions. No, what do you need another opinion? You just felt the same pain in the other foot you had surgery. Rinse and repeat. What are you talking about? You wanted a second opinion. So you thought the same pain that you had in the right foot that you had in the left foot was as a different type of pain, though it felt the same, that you need to go get all these different opinions instead of scheduling your appointment. You, if anybody, should know when you need surgery. If anybody should know when they need surgery, it should be Khris Middleton. You shouldn't need no other opinion. As much as you've been hurt, you should know exactly what's wrong. You should be able to give your own. You should be able to give a self-diagnosis and just ask them to sign the prescription at this point. Knock it off, Khris.
You've been in your body for what, 35 years, 34 years, and you
Oh,
don't
Khris.
know it? You don't know when you need to get a surgery?
Oh man.
Oh.
I
Go
quick
ahead,
question.
Bleach Report boss. We gonna spin the block again. Go ahead, Bleach Report boss.
Man, so hello everyone. Good morning.
What
Good
up? What up?
nation. All right. Now, my question to the panel is that's really important. I ain't really thought about this. Is the players even listening to Doc Rivers though at this point? That's my question because I was watching and like after the game was over and I was like mad and like I didn't really get to talk about it. That I was listening to I listened to interviews after the game just see what went wrong. And the surprise part was Doc pointed out that he mentioned the guy that was killed in this last game. He said that he pointed for him. Even Dame said it that the coach pointed for this guy to go off. So my thing is, if he pointed it out, why you guys didn't go on him then? Why you? It was an emphasis by the coach to stop Pritchard from going off, and the players looked like they didn't listen to him. It was like they was doing their own thing. Now my thing is, if these players gonna listen to coaching and actually listen to Doc Rivers doing, we back on them all we want. But hearing that post at that point, my question is, where's the responsibility on the players? Doc told you guys what to do on the players. Like when you said that when you did your monologue, I went right to where I looked at with that game against Boston when he told the coaches told them the emphasis get on this guy, don't let him get off, don't let he gonna kill us. So I'm off of Doc right now. I'm not even thinking about Doc because he told him this is on the
But
players
that's what
now.
we've been saying. We can't just blame the coach. Some of this is
I
the players. The players, Doc is not shooting threes. Doc is not shooting cross court passes into traffic. Look, Doc is not turning the ball over on random spin moves or dribbling and bouncing the ball off your foot. He's not doing that. He's
see,
not telling Bobby to not pay attention on defense and when he's daydreaming and his man goes around him. He can't do that. They're not like dogs where you can put a shot collar on them and make them pay attention. They're humans. You got to treat them. You got to treat them differently. Like he has to figure out a way to get to these dudes to make them buy in. And now we got to really be serious. Now these players are part of the problem. They got Griffin out of here because they didn't want to work as hard as he wanted them on defense. And if they quit on Doc, that's two coaches this team has got out of there because they didn't want to adhere to what the system or buy into the system that the coaches are talking about. And I think a main culprit of Griffin getting fired was Brook Lopez. If you looked on the court, Brook Lopez was always complaining, being upset, throwing up his hand because he had to play some defense and he couldn't just sit in the paint. And I think a
I
lot of this is from people's
Tired.
pouting that they got to
I'm
do more than what they want to do.
I'm
Go
And
ahead,
that
gonna
Bleacher. Then we're gonna go to
cut about
Mr.
that.
Smith.
and
The
that's the
thing
blame John Horst himself and knowing how these players react. Though, if I was a GM and they players start doing this now, I'm like, look, either you guys play the way that coach tells you to play, or you gone. I'm not having this year. Almost lost my job last year. Now you guys want to pull it. I don't want to play like this. No. You getting paid too much money to be lazy right now. You getting paid way too much money to be with a high expectation right now. We trying to win. We want to win. That's why we're doing this debate. That's why we're talking. It's not like we want to hate on somebody. We want to win another championship for this franchise. We don't have that mystique like Boston has. Like they have 18 championships. We want to build. We want to see this thing grow even more. Not just one championship and then
Right.
50 years later, we gotta wait 50 years later for another championship. And we did. Like it just we want them to win another one. But it's like they don't want to put in the work. They just living on the mystique of what we done a couple of years ago. That's done with. You gotta live on now. You gotta work. You can't just buy a house and not work for it. You gotta work for that. You gotta work for that with the championship caliber team you want to be. They got the pieces, but the problem is they're not putting the work in right now. And that's the problem we have. And that's why we're complaining right now. Like it seems like you guys being lazy. It was a couple of
If a
times in that
team is not committed to the
oh,
coach and the system, we'll never be productive. We'll never win. The reason Boston is so productive is because they believe in the system. they're healthy and they believe in the system and what their coach is telling them, and you can see it on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the identity of the Celtics. You know exactly what they're gonna do. Mr. Smith said yesterday, they go try to shoot as many threes as they can, get you up out the building, and play good defense.
You don't even have to
What do
look
the
at
Bucks do?
Celtics for
We
that.
don't know.
You don't even have to look at the Celtics. You can look at the new coaches that just got added. You can look at Kenny Atkinson, what he's doing with the Cavs. They look like a different team now.
Yeah.
Look at
And
OKC.
Right.
OKC
They
is another
are
thing too.
Right.
Even JJ Redick makes the Lakers look much better this year.
Yeah, I agree. Coaching matters, but but they're buying into what he's saying though too.
There's
The
buy-in.
players have to buy in. They have to buy in. That's key. That's key. So that's all part of it. Mr. Smith, let's go to you. I know this is an interesting topic. We were kind of hinting on this yesterday. So go ahead and give your feel.
Well, salute firstly to the panel.
Salute
to everyone. It's always a blessing to be able to come and talk to Buck fans. I honestly, I don't really have a ton to add because your opening monologue was about as scientific as it gets. That is 1,000% what I think the issue is, right? The only thing that I would add, which is not even in contrast to anything that you would say, is that I don't know if I can completely criticize the system yet when I haven't really seen it, right? And so I don't know that after 4 games, there's enough of a sample size to really say, okay, this system is not working, it's broken. That would be my pushback on Griffin. I think we got a sample size. That system was broken. It did not work for the players. I'm not saying that let me articulate that better. I don't know if the system was broken. I just don't think it was right for the team that we had.
The personnel,
right?
Correct. We didn't have personnel that could execute it.
Our personnel now actually looks better for that, which is surprising.
Agreed.
Gary Trent would look way better in that system than he would look in this one.
My thing with the Bucks right now, though, is like, again, the last time we saw them, I actually thought that we looked good for the greater majority of the game, right? I do. I really like what we look like for like the first 2.5 quarters against Boston. And I do think that the end of the game represented more of just a letting go of the rope. Like, it takes a lot of focus to stay that locked in for that long, and I just don't think our guys had it that particular night. Where now, of course, I'm not happy that we lost, right? I want our guys to eventually get over that mountaintop, right? But I had a lot more confidence in them after that loss, as crazy as this sounds, than I did after the Brooklyn and Chicago games. The Brooklyn and Chicago games, I was right there with y'all. I don't know what it is I'm looking at. What are these guys doing? Everybody looks like a goofball. I'm done with it, right? And I don't know that I feel like that right now. I honestly do feel like the arrow is pointing up. Now, the things that I am concerned about is how much of a linchpin Khris Middleton still is. We have not weaned ourselves off of the dependence of him. And it does not mean I want Khris Middleton going. It just means that when you have a player that has been hurt and unavailable as much as he is, there's no one else to step in and do the job for him. And it can't just rest on one person's shoulders like that. Now, I don't think that he's the best player on our team, but everything that you said about him is 1,000%. He is our other facilitator. If Giannis is bringing the ball up the court, then there are only certain situations that he should even be doing that in. Otherwise, our offense doesn't get into its sets properly. So the two people who bring the ball up and keep us in our sets are Dame and Khris. And quite honestly, I'm still kind of in favor of Khris being the best facilitator on the team because Khris has a pick and roll package with both Brooke
That's fair.
and Giannis.
He has one with Dame too, honestly.
Yeah, Dame. Yeah, it's weird. That's why I'm saying he has so much, so many variables that Khris brings to the table. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
He's a brilliant, brilliant basketball player. But the fact that we don't have like another person in his likeness on the team. Like, you know, we don't even have someone else in his mold on the team. He's a one of one on this team. And so when he leaves, we have nothing in his absence. There's a vacuum. And I think what you see very often for the Bucks the last couple of years is what we look like without that particular skill set represented in this offense. I am more and more believing that Doc was telling the truth when he said that we haven't implemented all of our offensive packages in Chris's absence. If that is the case, that is a mistake.
Agreed.
Because this team needs offensive, like we don't freestyle well. So we need structure. And if you waited on someone who is notoriously absent to give us the necessary structure, then you have to be held accountable for that. As far as the coaching, we're behind schedule because of that, if that's even the truth. But the way that we're playing now, it looks like it's the truth, because you have goofy things like what you just named, people throwing cross-court passes against rain of traffic. Like, how many players are we going to see do that? And it isn't just Pat Connaughton who's bringing the ball up and he's throwing across 3 different people.
It's
And getting the
Bobby. I
ball.
done seen Dame do it. Bobby do it. It's a habit on this team. Cross court passes in the trap.
Don't
Prince did it
even
too.
look
I've
at
seen
Yep,
Prince do it
it's
as
a
well.
habit. It's a habit. One thing
Everyone
I
on
want to
the team
address
does
here,
it.
because I thought this was an interesting comment by Ryan Love. We got to just stop trying to be a defensive team. We don't have the personnel to play that way. We simply have to outscore teams and win that way and accept it. I thought that was very interesting. So you're saying more like the Dan Tony style, but that didn't win no championship either, though. It got close with Houston, but you got to play some defense.
Issue with
I,
that is
Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
no.
you
You
off.
no,
go ahead.
No, go
I
ahead,
got
Mr. Smith. Then we'll follow up after. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
I don't think I think it's too early to make definitive declarations, though.
Right,
That's
I
what I
agree.
do see a lot. And we're not good at what we don't have this personnel to do X, Y, and Z, and we're a failure this way. It's
too early.
in
We don't know
seasons
yet.
past. Yeah, exactly. It's 4 of 82. If we were 1-3 in the NFL season, I'd be right there with y'all, because that
we got that's
was
fair. We got 70-some
the
games
end of
left.
the season.
but Mr.
Yeah,
Smith, Mr. Smith, you know what the difference is? Great coaching. That's a good point, because look at what they did with Willis. Love is hurt, but they still got good coaching. They still giving us a chance to beat the Lions with coaching. So
I
that's your point.
know that we're not though. I don't know that they're not there though. I'm not there yet. I'm not saying that I'm not there. I'm not being a Doc apologist right now. Again, I am more of the mind that he was absolutely telling the truth, that he did not implement a system, or at the very least, he didn't implement the system where he might have waited too long. That's what it looks like. Now, obviously, I don't know. We've all questioned Doc's honesty on this panel.
Shout out to Pass.
Right? So we don't know.
He was politicking outside.
Yeah,
I saw him. No, I'm dead serious. He actually was politicking. Like, he was out with Kamala's husband.
Okay, Lord.
So we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't know, right? But if that is the case, that to me represents failure, because this team needs structure without all of its guns. That being said, it's still way too early in the season to make definitive statements about who will be. I will point to what we've looked like in the past, right? Even with Khris Middleton, the Bucks traditionally are slow starters. The Giannis traditionally is a slow starter. I don't know why it takes him a while to get revved up and ready for the season, but it just does. The difference, though, is that in those 2 games against the Bulls in Chicago, we lost. The other difference is that there's a lot more pressure on the Bucks being good this season. They are under the microscope more than they've been in the past, and so people are very, very, very much on every single thing that we do. Even if we trended upwards, even if we just took the champs to about the middle of that 3rd quarter, people are extremely worried, and I can't tell people what to do, like how to fan. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to that I'm apologizing for it. I just don't think that we are far enough in the season to make definitive statements yet.
Agree.
When there are news that haven't dropped yet. Khris hasn't come back yet. They haven't cemented this defensive system yet. If Doc is telling the truth, big if, asterisk if, circle if he's telling the truth,
Big
then we
if.
haven't implemented the offensive system yet. There are guys who are still getting used to how they're going to play. You had used the Packers as an example, right? Right? Evan Williams did not look quite as good in the very beginning as he does now. That's why they started Javon Bullard over him. But once the light bulb went off, he's not coming back off the field. He's not. I
Right.
don't care who it is.
He might be
Sorry,
going to the Pro Bowl, low key, but go
yeah,
ahead. That's a different time.
he
We'll
might
talk about
be.
that on a different day.
Yeah,
He
oh
might
yeah.
be in his first season. Yeah, we have to talk about that. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man.
we got it Sunday.
That's
Can't wait.
all I'm saying. That there's time. There's time. I don't know if I'm hitting the panic button yet. I am concerned.
Okay.
I'm not dismissing it. I am concerned. I am concerned with exactly how you articulated it with Giannis, right? Giannis has got to know when to push and when to give the ball to Dame. The way that you articulated it was perfect. Against a setup defense, the ball should be in your point guard's hands so that we can start our offensive set.
Right.
Please stop going 1-on-5. I understand why you've done it in the past. Stop going 1-on-5 when you have the ball. That is the difference between Giannis, Dame with the ball in his hands against established shell. Giannis will see that and say, Hulk smash. I'm running through everyone.
That was funny, right?
Wait, quick. I just it's like when y'all get the ball, you got three people, his teammates just standing there looking
They're
at him.
literally standing there. Yeah, that's the problem I have.
They're used to that. And the additional problem is that there's a number of times where that actually works. Right? Yep. So it's the 1-on-3 fast break, stop and pop three. The worst thing that could happen is the ball goes in. Because now that person thinks, oh, I should be doing this all the time. I'm Steph Curry. If we have a fast break and a 1-on-3 fast break, then every single time I have the opportunity, I'm going to stop and pop the three. You know, and that's what I think sometimes is. That's what I saw in the Celtics game. That the more the game started to get out of reach, the more Giannis was like, I'm going 1-on-5.
And just to piggyback off of that real quick, we're gonna do another round robin. Then I got 3-4 people in the green room. I'm gonna bring back in, but what I wanted to say is that's part of the problem, though, Mr. I agree with you wholeheartedly with that, and I think with Giannis on that, and that's part of why I was saying that Giannis gets hurt because he pushes himself when he feels that we don't have enough talent, we don't have enough pieces. He's gonna take it all upon himself. And that's why I say you can correlate people trying to come down at me. I'm like, you can completely correlate Giannis breaking down with Khris's unavailability. When Khris is available, that's less wear and tear on Giannis because we have another ball handler. He's getting in more natural spots. He's not working as hard to score as he is now. It's a lot of difference, and I'm not trying to make it seem like Middleton is some type of basketball savant, but we need to respect what he brings to this team and understand that that's a huge void. You have an all-star that's missing most of the time, and a team that doesn't have a lot of quote unquote talent and is not super deep with athleticism. You need your top 3 paid players to be available to be effective. That's the way this team is built. We can't play with missing pieces. It's like it's like the operating system start to crash. It's like we get a DDoS attack or something like that. Shout out from my IT language right there. If y'all understand what I was saying, it might have went over y'all head, but y'all get it. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta figure that out. We gotta figure that out. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Something to what I was saying to what you were saying before, like about the Khris though, and in my practice, right, as far as people, or in my experience, people need surgeries, right? A lot of surgeons will first say, before we go straight to the scalpel, there are alternative methods of treatment that we need to at least try first before surgery, right? So a lot of the times when you see people not get surgeries immediately right away, that's the reason. What I'm trying to do for me personally, again, I can't tell somebody else how to feel about this, because when it comes to Khris Middleton, there's like an internal tug of war with me, right? I'm trying not to be a toxic.
Yeah,
I'm
eternal tug of
I
war
don't
is
know if it comes
hilarious.
off me when I come in this chat. I'm really aggravated at the fact that he's not. I'm really like that. Not even a little bit, a lot of it. Right? He's really starting to piss me off. Right? But what I need to keep remembering, and this is something that I hope everyone does, is that it's not for lack of desire. I know that he wants to be out there. I'm not going to question his toughness if I've never had double ankle surgery to know what it feels like. I'm not going to do that, right? The last time we saw Khris Middleton, he was the best player on the floor
Correct.
for the Bucks and for the Pacers. This man by himself, because I'm not counting Dame being there fully.
Right.
When Dame in and out of that series, and when he came in, he wasn't 100%. He didn't play all that well. I know he got a lot of points, but they weren't efficient. He was taking weird times to shoot three. It was just bad. Khris was the stabilizing force on the court. He was the best on the court. He almost did it by himself. By himself. When he was playing alongside the worst version of Pat that we've ever seen. He was playing alongside of Bobby Portis, who was getting himself thrown out of playoff games. He was playing alongside Brook Lopez, who looked lost in space. He almost did that by himself. I know that he wants to be out there. It's annoying to me too. I'm on the Khris Middleton watch, right? Every day I'm refreshing Milwaukee Bucks news. Did Khris Middleton get cleared for 5-on-5s? I'm infected now because this is the same garbage that I went through last year. Is he ready yet? Is he ready yet? Is he ready? He's not.
Appreciate you, Mr. Cool.
I just got to go straight to he'll be ready by mid-November, and then just kind of go with that. And when he does, but I guarantee you, this will be the last thing I say on this. By this time next week, we will all feel better about the team. That's my guarantee.
All right, I like you ending it like that. Go ahead, Bleach Report boss. Then we gonna end with pass. Then I'm gonna swap some people in here. Go ahead,
All right.
Bleach
Yeah,
Report boss. Appreciate you.
I wanted to say, I've been, like I said, after that game, I've been thinking and trying to, calm down that, with the, my anger over with the loss. But overall, after I saw the interview with Doc and then see what Dame said, my question, I was questioning players now, like, are these players going to actually listen to Doc Rivers, actually give this a chance and try to win these games? Because, and then the passing the ball across court got to stop. And if they gonna continue doing that, they're gonna have. If I'm the coach, I'll make them do laps every time I see them do a cross court pass. Like lap, and stop the thing. You go do a lap. But I'm just joking. But it's just the thing overall that I want this team to just do is just compete. Just compete every night. They did that with Boston. I'm really proud of the way they did in that first half. That was, and Dr. Smith, you said that to me. And you say you need to just all calm down. And I thought about it. That first half, they did a good job. They did everything. They gave Brook the ball in the post. That's what they should continue to do. Give him the ball in the post. Open up everybody else up. Now they had to double him. And then I just hope that the minutes that open this up, Prince should be playing a little bit better. I believe Gary Trent Jr. will play a little bit better. I just hope one of the young guys step up off that bench because right now we just need some other scorer than just Giannis and Dame. And they're scoring 30 points a game so far. It don't mean anything right now because nobody else is stepping up. So I can't blame Giannis and Dame for they putting up the points. They're putting up their share. You can't have them score 30 points a game. And at the bench they ain't doing anything. So
That's
I
what's
give you that.
alarming. We're getting the production from our stars, and we're still losing games. The
Yeah.
others are not doing their part. That's a fact. Go ahead, Bleach Report boss, and we'll go to pass.
Yeah, it just the the coach. I want actually not just Doc, but Doc Him needs to get on these players about the defense because if you doubling too much and you know that, and then even they telling the guy you to stop, you don't even listen, you still sagging off in the middle. There's a problem. There's no communication. You gotta talk. You gotta talk to your you gotta talk to your teammate. Like go right here, go right here. I understand. We talk about identity. When Jan said something about identity, I got mad. Like we talked about this last year, but at the same time, right now, you gotta do it right now. You can't just wait. It's gonna take time. I know it's gonna take time. We gotta be patient and wait and get this team developed. But the hope is, I see the light end of the tunnel. I see it. It just they need to get there. So we just need to just be patient with the team, but also this team needs to listen to Doc. They got to listen to Doc and do what he tells them to probably do. I'm not saying he's the best coach, but he's there for a reason. So you gotta give him a chance. Can't just run off the coach after coach because you don't agree with what he's saying or you don't like what he's saying. We
Agree.
got. That's
Agree
all I
with
got.
you. Appreciate you, Bleachport Boston. We'll end with New Jersey's very own pass on you, bro.
If there's any time for them to show out, it's this coming week. After we play the Grizzlies, we're playing the Caps twice. We go to the Jazz, we're going Knicks, and then Celtics. That's three. You have three teams right there that's going to be playoff teams. They're all in the East too, so this is good competition. You're going to guarantee to play at least one of them in the playoffs.
Right.
Maybe all three. So that's what I'm looking at. My thing with this team is that Khris will help out a lot, but I don't know if he'll be like, he's not a saving grace. I'll say that, like, yo, make things better, but he's not the full answer.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
but let's just see how that looks when he comes, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. We can't really judge fully because you don't have the whole puzzle piece. The puzzle's not finished because you're missing a huge piece of it.
Right.
And I also noticed something too. Giannis doesn't actually pass too much to Trent, but he also did the same thing last year with Beasley too. But as the games went on, they started finding each other more, and he started getting more assists off of him, like threes. So that I don't think should be worrying for us that Trent's having a little bit of slump in offense, because that will come later on. That's just something we have an issue of right now. But that's just Giannis normally when he does in the beginning of the season. Because I think you are right about whoever said that about Giannis starting off slow. He does do that often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all do. The Bucks in general, the entirety of the team does. They start off slow and things do become a matter of muscle memory as they go on. Like we've seen this movie before. I can tell you how it goes. We start off slow, people are aggravated, right? And usually Khris is missing. Khris comes back, all of a sudden, it's like we can't lose, right? The year that he came back after January or something like that, I think we went 16 straight without losing. 16 straight games.
Yeah, I remember that.
We've seen this movie before. Unfortunately, the way that movie ends is usually right before the playoffs or during the playoffs, one of our key guys gets hurt and we can't recover from that injury. That's also how that movie went. So we're hoping it's not a movie. I will say this, though. This will be the absolute last thing that I say, right? With the Giannis criticism, which I think all of your points are 1,000% perfect. I don't know about the outside world. I've stopped listening to people's opinions on the Bucks outside of the Bucks fan base. My criticism would be this. Giannis has got a reputation for being a stellar defender. I need to see that. Because I don't see that this year.
That's a great point.
Everyone. You have the most length on the court outside of Brook Lopez. And everyone is shooting threes in your face.
Yep.
You can't just be an offside defender. For those few times when you go out to the perimeter, that can't just be for show.
Right.
Go out there and not one of these dudes because everyone is teeing off on us from the 3-point line. That's it. I think the world of his effort. I think the world of his heart, of his determination. There are some things that he does need to clean up about this game, but I have faith that we will, because we've done it before in the past. We'll be all right. That's it.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. Did you need to say anything else, Pass, before you get up out here?
I got two quick things real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So first thing I want to ask you, I going to ask everyone a real quick question. How did you feel in the beginning of the season when it was 2021, the year we won the chip? What was the feeling that time?
There was concern at the start as well there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've always had concern at the beginning of the season, correct?
Yeah.
For multiple years. I think the only year I didn't have concern was 2022 because we just won the chips. I'm like, okay, we'll be fine.
Right.
And then we had that whole issue later on, but that's something that we couldn't really think of. So I think this team, that's something we need to keep in mind as a fan base. Like, let's take this slowly because we haven't seen everything yet.
Right.
Our schedule is difficult right now. I think we have the 4th hardest schedule in the league right
Yep.
now.
Yeah, remember that was opposite from last year. We had the easiest schedule last year. Everybody kept bringing it up. Well, Griffin was 33. We had the easiest schedule of anybody that year.
Right.
Yep,
Last year.
and we were struggling against the Wizards. We were struggling against Detroit. We were
Yep.
struggling against Raptors. We got blown out by the Raptors. The
Uh,
Hawks we were struggling with. Like, these were all teams that were 10 and under.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's
so
like
I agree with y'all, but let me tap these other people in, gentlemen. I appreciate
Okay,
y'all
so
tapping in. Oh,
let me
go
just get
ahead.
the
No,
last
go ahead,
question.
Pass. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pass. My
And the
bad.
other question, a thing about the Doc situation is with Doc, it's really weird because Doc is not really known for being a bad regular season coach. It's always
The
the
playoffs.
playoffs that's the issue. So I don't know why I don't know. That's what's interesting to me is why is it that it's the regular season right now? That's the problem.
Good point.
Right, but again, it's only 4 games.
Yeah,
Right.
it's only 4 games.
We gonna give them some time. We gonna give them some time.
Even
Yeah,
the 4 games, the games before that from last year. Last year, there's a lot of stuff going on, so maybe that's the reason
right.
why from last year.
Right.
So that's probably it may still be carrying on. I don't know. The other thing is, look, the thing you brought up about the Nuggets, they're also struggling too, right? You look at their team;
Very similar
they
makeup.
have very similar makeup, but they have the opposite issue of us. We can't defend; they can't shoot.
Can't score. Yeah, they can't score. Right. Right. It's crazy. The NBA is way different now. It's crazy.
And not even that. People were saying, look, I've heard a lot of things. I gave credit to Malone a lot. Like, oh, like he's a great coach. I had him as like maybe the number 5 best coach in the
Right.
league at that point. I don't hear them talking about firing him. I don't hear that from Nuggets fans. Let's give this some chance.
I
If this
respect
still
that.
looks bad after a while, then yes, I 100% agree with everyone. Doc should go.
I appreciate
But
it. Yep.
let's give it some chance, please.
I like the positive vibes at the end, y'all. Salute. Appreciate y'all.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
We get. I
Salute.
appreciate that. All right, Pass Bleach Report, boss, Mr. Smith. Appreciate y'all. Salute.
All right.
Are y'all not entertained by the content? Are y'all not entertained? Let me tap in my man Smitty. It's been a minute, Smitty. Tap in my boy Gibson. What's good? What's good, gentlemen? Hey, I know it's regular season. Hey, if y'all don't know Smitty, Smitty's definitely here during the regular season. I know it's regular season time when you see Smitty. Salute. And then at the bottom right, y'all know a distinguished member of the organization that we call Milwaukee Bucks Friends and Family, Gibson Nicholas, straight out of the Bahamas. What's good, bro?
Salute to the chat. Peace and blessings. Salute to your guests. I'm a salute to Smitty.
Uh,
Salute.
What's up?
before I let Smitty go, and then you let me get Monalando super chat. Shout out Monalando. Shout out to Canada. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Doc won the 2008 chip because of Rick Carlisle's offensive schemes. That's why the Pacers were so good last year. We are stuck in 2008, Doc. Oof. Interesting. Interested. Where else are y'all gonna get this type of knowledge from? Hey, hit the like button. We the best. Go ahead, Smitty. Go ahead. Tell the people how you feeling.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man?
Salute.
Ladies as well. I'm gonna go back to what I was saying last year. Like, it's more the players. Is they got to be like how many coaches we gonna run through? Like, bro, like
Fact.
this was his 3rd coach in what 2 years, a year and a half. So
Right.
Daniel made a good point about the Packers, but with the Packers they got buy-in. If you don't buy in with the Packers, you everybody know you out of there.
You out of there, bro. Right.
It's culture. The Bucks got to create that.
The culture is different. Right. I'm with you
Yeah,
on that.
yeah. So. And that goes back to somebody said that mystique. The Packers got that mystique. They done won how many championships and Super Bowls over the 100 years. So
All right.
I don't know. I just they got to change the culture some way somehow. It's just frustrating to see because some of the players that we've been all asking to go, like Brooke, he should have been gone.
Right.
He's a big part of why you said Griffin got fired, and I wasn't a big Griffin guy,
Right.
but as a coach, from a coach's lens, I saw the players was not playing hard. They wasn't
Right.
doing everything they could have did on the court to win games. somebody said, you can, as a coach, you can't make dudes do that, especially in the NBA. They get paid way too much money, so
Right.
you can't bench them, you can't run them, you can't cuss them out. Like overseas, they can do all that,
Right.
right?
Right. Facts.
You damn near gonna get fired. So they got to create that culture and that aura as far as, hey, if you ain't getting the job done, if you ain't buying in, I don't care what coach we bring in. We could bring in the worst coach in the league. You ain't buying in because this is what the culture say, the Heat culture, the Packer culture, wherever. Spurs, you out of here. That's the way it got to be. Even if you take a step back on a player less talented, oh well, you just got to create that culture, bro. And ain't
Right.
no other way around it.
No, hey, my man came in dropping gems. Shout out to Smitty, man. Salute, salute. Appreciate you tapping in. It's been a minute. Good to see you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gibson, what's your take, sir? Then we gonna spin the block again. Go ahead, Gibson.
Salute to the chat again. Salute, salute. Amber, as I was listening to other podcasters and I turned on the TV, all I could see on the headline was the Milwaukee Bucks straight across the board. What is going on? That Dame and Giannis can't gel together. It's so much going on right now. Amber, I ain't even making no noise about it. The only thing I took from it by watching the Nuggets and Brooklyn play, the only thing I want Giannis to do is just to trust the teammates more. That's all
Okay.
I want him to do. This is not a one-man wrecking crew. You have to get your other players involved. In order for this Bucks team to go far and beyond, we have to let other players get involved. We have to learn to say, okay, if I catch the rebound, I don't need to bring up the ball. Let me give it to Dame. If I find him in the post, I could give it to him. He could feed me. When I watch Joker and Murray play, man, Joker is an excellent passer. He find his guys, he get them involved. He don't never be running up the court with a full head of steam to knocking people over. No, you have to get the players involved, and that's what I want Giannis to do. In order for the media to come off our back, we have to play better. The role players have to step in. Lopez have to play better. You can't be shooting no trees. You gotta play like the old big man in the league. You gotta play with your back against the post. Fellas have to catch rebound. You can't be waiting on one man to do everything. The players have to come together as a collective group to say, we have to erase this loss. We cannot go down like this. Last year, we get put out on the first round. The year before that, we get put out. We can't keep repeating history after history, running after coaches. Man, by the time we fire this one, we probably could run through the whole league of coaches. The
Mm-hmm.
players have to believe in themselves that we could do it. We just have to play better. They have to play better. Giannis need to play more off ball. He need to let Dame know that he is the point guard, not Giannis. Giannis is not a point guard.
But
He
I
didn't
but
come
think
in the league.
that's situational though. That one I'm gonna push back on. I think it's situational. Like I said, if it's a fast break opportunity, everybody should be trying to look for Giannis on a fast break opportunity or any opportunity where we have like off a miss, anything where we can push the pace. The ball should be in Giannis's hand immediately. If the defense is able to set up, then the ball should be going to Dame to start to run the sense because Giannis doesn't really do that. He's not looking to run the sets. He's looking to go get downhill. So I think
I,
it needs to be situational, but that means Giannis has to raise his IQ a bit to understand those situations and how to move appropriately. I think that's part of the problem. He has a lot of tunnel vision when you're dealing with Giannis. He's looking straight ahead. He's looking to how do I get to this hoop? What's my quickest way to get to this hoop? Yeah, he might see people open here, but he's like, yeah, I could pass to you, but you might miss. I know if I get to this hoop, I'm not missing no dunk. And I think that goes through his mind a lot. And that's why I say he wears himself out a lot because he wants to do everything himself. I'm not saying this like Jordan back in the 80s, but Jordan back in the 80s was averaging 40 points a game and they wasn't winning nothing because he wasn't trusting his teammates. He had to scale his scoring down to damn near barely 30 and get those points distributed. It doesn't seem like a lot, but 10 points is a lot if they're going towards the others because now they're feeling engaged in the game. They're touching the ball. A lot of players will tell you, I just need to touch the ball a few times. They can't go without feeling the basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times when Giannis has the ball in the half court, it becomes stagnant and people are just standing. There's nobody cutting, nobody doing anything because they're just assuming he's just gonna go to the hoop and get a foul or get an and one. And I think that's the mentality and philosophy that we have to work around and try to resolve. Go ahead, Gibson.
My other concern is right now about that. If when do we have any timeline? When is Middleton going to be back? When is Middleton going to be back? No timeline or nothing. We just because this right now, the Giannis situation is not boring, but the Khris Middleton situation is really getting to me. I wonder they is not coming out and saying anything that when if he is not going to be available for half of the game, why have the man sit on the bench, wait out a trade or call some other team to see that if we could get somebody else who we know could be available to this team? They are not saying anything. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Doc is not giving us the
But
truth.
that should be
We
concerning, though. That should already let you know that you should be concerned if they can't even give you a date when Khris Middleton will be back. That's why to say hopefully he's back before the end of the year. That's being reasonable. Anything else, you're drawing at straws. We got to be real
man,
with Khris. He had double ankle surgery, and it's not like
man.
he was some super athletic dude or anybody that was in excellent shape. It's gonna take him time. Both ankles that you walk on and you got to push off of and jump, that's gonna take time, bro. I'm telling you, that's gonna take. That's why they didn't want to get a timeline. If it was a even when Giannis had that hyperextension, it was a reasonable timeline that they could give you. This Middleton thing is concerning because they're not even given a timeline. And that was a Giannis with a hyperextension, like, oh, it could be 10 to 14 day. Like they were very specific in how long it should take and then how long they're trying to speed it up. There has been none of that information given for Middleton because they don't know. I don't think they know when Middleton is coming back, to keep it real. If Middleton
So
knew, he
so
would say something. That's why we just say
so
this is for Middleton. Hopefully he's back before the end of the year. That's it. Go ahead, Gibson. Then we're gonna go back to Smitty.
all right then. Let's say let's use a scenario and an example. Right? If the Milwaukee decided to make a trade, what it would be if the Milwaukee Bucks called the Chicago will say, okay, we would like to give you Khris Middleton, Pat Connaughton, and Marjan Beauchamp and a couple round pick for Zach LaVine. You think that will help solve some of the Bucks situation? Because
Zach
maybe we
LaVine
don't even
contract is crazy though. Zach LaVine got a crazy contract. That's the problem with Zach. His contract is crazy. And you would be gaining a ton of athleticism, but you would also be gaining low basketball IQ. He's not the
right.
most intelligent basketball player. He's ultra uber athletic. He can score, but I wouldn't say that he's an intelligent basketball player. And he doesn't per se play winning basketball, if that makes sense. His numbers always will look good, but I won't say so. My brother will always say empty stats. He puts up empty stats because they're not
All right.
affecting the game. You know what I'm saying? But he has game. Like he's definitely got game. I just don't know if he's a winner like that, and that contract would scare me. But his athleticism, he'd be able to run with Giannis. There definitely would be positives on there. But go ahead,
Okay.
Gibson. Then we go to Smitty. Go ahead, Gibson.
Okay, my other option. What about Jeremy Grant? You think Jeremy Grant will help this team because he could score? Jeremy Grant have no because by looking at his article,
But
I
isn't
don't see
Jeremy
he have.
Grant in his 30s too?
Yeah, but he's not. I think Chris older than him, like by 2 years older than him. Jeremy Grant just 30 years old, and he could
Let
score.
me try. I feel like he older than that, but even that's still getting us in the same situation though. Another older player. Yeah, you know what I'm
So
saying? So it's like I don't know about
what about
that. Ah, yeah, he just turned 30. Yep. Okay, Jeremy Grant is 30. Yep.
30? If that don't work? I'm gonna wait. So my last final shot would be at they would need to call Houston Rocket and make a shot at Jalen Green. Nah,
But
he
he
is
just
more
signed a
young.
new contract.
Yeah, so that went out the window.
Yeah,
So
the
that's all
money
I have.
is gonna be the money thing too. You know what I'm saying? What are we willing to give up?
Mhm.
I don't know if we can make any big splashes because as much as I love Middleton and he brings to the table, why would a team want to trade for someone that's only gonna play 30, 40 games a year?
Yep, we
That
stuck with him.
his Khris Middleton only has value to the Milwaukee Bucks. We got to be real with that. I started thinking about that, and I'm like, we'll never get the value what we would want for Khris Middleton. He only has value for the Bucks and our system and what we do. Other teams are not going to value him as highly. That's why trading him is crazy. Like trading him was crazy right now because we wouldn't get no value. That's why when I didn't really want him to sign that contract because of his lack of availability. So it just is what it is. We're in a tough spot, Gibson. We're just in a tough spot. We gotta hope these
All right,
players step up, or but they believe in the system, bro. That's really where we're at.
I turn the floor over to Smitty now. I
Yeah.
have no more to say. Go ahead, Mr.
Don't be
Go
depressed
ahead,
like
Smitty.
that, Gibson. Go ahead, Smitty.
I ain't gonna talk about Khris injuries because like that's a touchy subject.
All right.
Uh, you know, I just don't really like talking about that. It's
Right.
just, you know,
Yeah. So what about
everybody,
everything else though? The system? Do you think the players are buying in? The doc? Do you think that us not having another ball handler is affecting this team dramatically? What are
yeah.
your
Well, let me go.
thoughts?
So Giannis, like what y'all was saying, Giannis is predominantly a transition player. Like I don't think many people want to really say that he can function in the half court, but he's a transition player. So
Right.
I go back. I agree with you. They need to get the ball in his hands in transition. And once they don't get an easy bucket or open three, bring it back out, Dame run the offense. Or they take it out, Dame, you bring it up.
Right.
Giannis, he want to push the pace anyway. Dame don't push the pace. I don't know. I don't know. When he was younger, he pushed the pace. I guess because he's getting older or whatnot.
Right.
He pushed the pace. He liked to trot up the court, you know, this little hop step or whatever. But that's slowing us down. We already an older, slow team. So I was gonna hit on something else. Let's go back to the Packers real quick.
Right.
When Aaron Rodgers didn't buy in, did you see the difference in the offense?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
got him here, now you see the difference in the offense. So
But that's a great example of buy-in. That's an awesome example right there. That's an awesome example. Aaron Rodgers was actually hurting this team by not buying in.
mm-hmm.
And now
He
look,
was
when
just
you buy into the coach, like the Packers are all in with Matt LaFleur. They're all in, and you
yep,
can see it. And it's a
yep.
difference. And that's what I
You can,
would like to see with the Bucks. Go ahead. Great point, Smitty. Go ahead.
um, that's pretty much it. And Horace got to be accountable because the lack of point guard depth. I said that I never thought DeLon Wright was gonna come in and
Right.
be this backup point guard. He point guard. He could bring the ball up. If he out there with Dame and they pressing him too hard, he could help bring the ball up. But he's not gonna come in and
Right.
be your backup point guard. So
Nah,
I think
his dribbling package is very limited.
he's basic.
Yeah,
He got
basic.
no
Yeah, I don't want to, but yeah, he basic, bro.
he ain't got no badges, bro.
Right, he ain't
So
got no badges on his player bill. Talk that 2K talk. Talk that 2K talk. Yeah, he don't got no badges on his player bill, bro.
done, bro. And then another thing Horace dropped the ball on was the athletic big. I've been saying this for since Bud was here, bro. Portis ain't no 5. He can stretch the floor as a stretch
Thank
4.
you.
He actually played better perimeter defense than he do post defense. If you believe it or not, he ain't a defensive stopper, but he can at
Right.
least keep up with
He can move his
more.
feet a little bit, which is weird. Yeah, I agree. When he's engaged on defense, he's not always engaged on defense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got, bro. I
All
just
right, we're
wanted to
gonna
chime in.
end with Gibson, then I'm gonna get in this comment section. Appreciate you, Smitty, man. We hope to see you around. We're gonna be back tomorrow too. That's why I'm gonna try to keep this a little shorter than usual because we're gonna spin the block tomorrow for the Grizzlies game. But let me
Yeah,
talk to my man right here. Bahamas very own, proud member. What's going on, Gibson? Give us your
Boy,
final thoughts.
I don't know what to say right now. I so on I don't know because when I look at the standing, we way to the bottom of the standing. That games we supposed to be winning and beating teams by easy numbers. We just dropping the ball. Guys, them don't want to play. We have power forwards want to be point guards. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if the coach has lost the locker room with something. I don't know what is going on with this team because they're supposed to be a team which supposed to have a bounce back here and be motivated to play. We're supposed to be able to challenge Boston to the highest height to show them that we could go neck and neck with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's early, but I'll be paying attention to detail and watching how the games go, and especially tomorrow I'll be sitting down watching this game to see if Giannis could still do those same habits he doing. I'm gonna see that. I will point out all of them. I'll be right here sitting with my book and taking notes to see every mistake he do. I will call him out in the live. Salute to the panel. Peace and
Appreciate
blessings.
you.
I
We'll
got a
see you
quick.
tomorrow. Oh, go
I got.
ahead. Go ahead.
I got a quick question. So, do we expect anything to change if it's the same core guys?
Tough. That's a tough one, Smitty. That's a tough one,
Damn,
Smitty.
Smitty.
That's a
And
tough question.
we got the same core guys, bro. So it's gonna be the same stuff. No defense, lazy, not rotating, shooting, whatever. So they're gonna have to Horace or
Damn,
ownership will have to
Smitty came
come.
with the brought out the cannon
Bubba.
at the end. He brought out the cannon at the end. Damn, why you do that, Smitty?
Yeah. One,
It's just a question, bro, because we all got the
I'm
same
Right,
questions. We all thinking the same thing, but it's
right.
like nothing gonna change, bro. We can't keep doing the same thing. Think we're gonna get different results, bro. So
Damn,
that's my.
and we gotta take this one in tomorrow. I think that's a great. Well, let's watch this game tomorrow and let's see. Go ahead, Gibson.
my question is what Smitty said is a very good point. Now, my question is, right, why is Doc Rivers don't put some of the young guys in? Let just try switch something up. Try make it look presentable. Switch it up. Don't put Connaughton in. Put someone who is a more big and stronger guy. What about that big that 7 foot guy we got on the 10-day contract? Why hasn't Doc given him no playing time? Give him some time. Let's see what the other guys could do. You can't go with pot, fly by, pot all the that ain't gonna work. Switch up. Put someone more athletic to match up those other guys because we got Grizzlies tomorrow. Who is going to match up with Zach Edey? I know that Brook is going to have his hand foot. Giannis is going to have his hand foot. We need other guys to come in onto the party. You can't have 3 guys battling a whole squad and the rest just wandering around in Wonderland. That cannot be. So in Doc need to switch up things. He need to be in the lab right now, figuring out what lineup he is going to put. I don't want to see this lineup what he had on the floor against. I want to see a different lineup with the more younger guys in it. Like give a Tyler Smith a chance. Let's see what he could do. As small as young as he is, try him out. We might be able to get something, some rebound or something. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah.
Well,
So we
I
gonna
think
see.
Jackson gonna be out there tomorrow.
You said who?
I think Jackson will be out there tomorrow, and
Okay.
probably AJ
We
Green.
will
Yeah. I think they'll be out there. So we gonna see. Appreciate y'all gentlemen tapping in. Salute to
No
my
problem.
man Smitty. Salute to my man Gibson Nicholas. Yeah, Bahamas. All right, bro. Go. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to my man. This is a very interesting topic. I think there was a lot of great points made in today's live, and I think this conversation will continue tomorrow. But oh, hold on, my man just tapped in here. Hold on, let me get Brandon up in here before we get up out of here. Hold on, y'all. What up, Brandon? So tell me how you feel about everything today, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I heard everything with Mitty, Gibson, Daniel, Mill, Bad, everyone saying, and you, everyone in the chat. I think it's too early in the season, and we're not gonna blame Giannis or Dame or nobody. I think this team worry about the past. They need to
Hold
let
on one
that go.
second. That's a great point, Stacy. Hold on one second. One second. Stacy said you got to get open. See Giannis in trouble, getting in his sight, and make yourself available. That is a good point too, Stacy. It's kind of like in football when your quarterback is scrambling, you want to run into his line of view so he can see you when you're doing a scramble drill and start clapping or whatever you need to get his attention or put your hand up. So there's validity to that. Stacy, you've been cooking for about 48 hours. If y'all ain't been seeing Stacy comment, Stacy been cooking. What up, Stacy? And I see you, Eliza, Janet, MOC, Cynthia, Patricia. I see y'all cooking in the chat. Just hey, I'm paying attention. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, this is the reason why I come on this podcast, speak my mind
There you go.
about
There you go.
about,
Absolutely.
and I've been on this podcast since since 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, right.
So let me say this: I think the this Buck team has to buy into that system a little bit more. I say that. Look at the Packers. Look at how Packers doing. They're 6-2. They're 6-2. We are second in the North Division. We're about to play a tough matchup this Sunday at home. The reason why the Packers team are buying in our head coach McNamara system. And the defense on the Packers side is top tier. They show it. When Jordan Love went down,
Hey, I'm quiet. Go ahead and cook. I'm gonna sit back and let you cook. Go ahead, sir.
Malik Willis show up and show out. And because see why we debating on Packers and Buck. Because see what Brian Gustin, our Packers GM did. The same thing the Buck GM needs to do.
Draft better. We gotta draft better. We gotta draft better.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing, Buck Nation, Packers Nation. It's too different narrative. Yes, we want to win. Packers want to win too. Bucks want to win now. Packers want to win the Super Bowl. But here's the thing. The Packers have that mindset. They know what to do. Bucks need that positive mindset
Look at my
going into,
man Brandon. What?
and the Bucks media. Just play your game. Just play that. Just stop worrying about the media. Stop. Just
Right.
win your house. Play ball.
My
We
man
want,
Brandon.
of course, we want Middleton back. We do. But what everyone's saying that we cannot trade Middleton because we don't know what value we will get back from Middleton. So you think though, all these talk about we're pulling our team, yeah, it's a play. Y'all want to play at fast pace. If you see Dame doubling or with two teams trying to double, just take out the ball in, the ball out to Dame and let Dame run the optic.
Right. That's what we're saying. We're saying fast break Giannis. Any sets, it should be Dame. That should be common sense. Those are the small things that they need to tighten up. We gotta accept this team for what it is and just hope they can buy into the system and hope that whatever Doc comes up with this all-star staff that they're able to execute. Again, we have a very small sample size of this current season with the Bucks. So let's give them a little bit of time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just one good thing. Take one egg, get next time. We're gonna see what happens tomorrow.
There we go.
Like,
My man.
we had to get this win tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree.
Go 1-4 tomorrow. We can't do that.
Right.
I know down season, it's a new season. We're trying to get the new guy coming in right out the gate. But you just take it one game at a time.
There we go. My man.
Now,
Appreciate you.
that's the Packers Sunday.
Yep.
So just talk to
And
you
it
later.
will be live Sunday after the Packer game too, y'all. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Brandon, tapping in, bro. My dude. All right, y'all. Another great live. Appreciate everybody tapping in. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. We were here to talk about. This is a very interesting topic, touchy topic, and a lot of emotions about this topic, which is like, who do we blame for this for our slow start? Is it Giannis's fault? Whose fault is it? I think we started a great discussion here. We'll continue this discussion throughout the season. Uh, Hopefully, we don't have to for too much longer. That the Bucks will figure out buy-in, or we'll get players here who can do what they need to help this team win. Once again, appreciate friends and family tapping in, Bucks Nation. Thank you, thank you. Like I said, if you haven't already, hit the like button. I hope you're enjoying this educational content about about the Milwaukee Bucks, and I hope you find the content engaging, humorous, and all that good stuff. We try to pack it all in here, and always feel free when the link is in the chat. copy paste it in your browser, on your phone, on your desktop. It'll ring to my computer. I'll tap you in so you can say your piece. This is a platform for the people as well, which is friends and family. So once again, I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition, where we were just having a debate about what's wrong with our Bucks. They're 1-3. Get it together, Bucks. Comment, like, subscribe, share the content. Gone.